Well, that's something that I respect so much about, like my three favorite devs in the community. Yeah, yeah, the Maximus guys and the Hedron guy. It is the airdrops, the lack of sacrifice phases, the building directly on the blue chips. Hex, Pulse Chain, and PulseX. Why not have sacrifice phases? Like, why do you guys decide that? I'm pretty sure I saw a Dipcatcher tweet that's like, we don't do sacrifice phases. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was like, that further confirms that you guys have this philosophy around it. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I just think like, I feel like Richard Hart, like the idea of what PulseChain and PulseX was like, it's just kind of been bastardized, honestly, with these sacrifice phases. And I know people launch their tokens in outside of our community in like a way, I'm sure, to like not be a security, but they're just going to kind of like, they've been getting more and more ridiculous, like just what people are like sacrificing for. And it's like, will that actually stand up? I think for me, what I love, one of our best innovations was our mint phase, where it's a completed product. You're minting your tokens. You're not like hoping that you're going to get something in return. It's not a promise coin. So everything we've created, it's like when you're minting, you get your tokens right away. And I love that. And I think it's been a huge piece of our success is just been like launching completed products that don't require a sacrifice phase. And I think a lot of people respect that, they're just kind of over sacrifice phases. And so, yeah, it's been a net positive, I think, for the community.
Well, funny enough, it's well, I guess to like, why do people want sacrifice phases? A lot of it is to fund the development, right?
Yeah.
Like that would be like a key part of that usually.
Mm-hmm.
But funny enough, with Pulse Chain, Hex, PulseX, I guess we'll focus on Pulse Chain, PulseX. Those sacrifice phase, Richard's rumored to already have enough money to do everything, and none of the money's
Yeah.
moved, so he's not funding the devs with it. So why do you think that there was a sacrifice? Why not just airdrop everyone the PLS, launch the network? Like, why was there a sacrifice phase in the first place for Pulse Chain and PulseX?
It's a really good question. And I don't know. I guess we won't know the answer until after Pulse Chain. We were in a Twitter space the other day, and I think there's kind of this assumption that all those funds, like people talk about over $1 billion's been sacrificed, and there's just kind of this, uh, this thought that like all that money is going to be used to like provide liquidity or something, and I don't know if that's true. I think there's also this element of like, just kind of like a thought of like a backing of Pulse Chain, that there's like $1.1 billion that like want to buy into this into this chain. And so from a marketing
Just
perspective, I think it's big.
like skin in the game. Is
Yeah,
that
like
the
skin in the game. But yeah, I think it's going to be, obviously, I think the person, with Richard Hart, I think he obviously already has enough money. So I think that was kind of a big fundamental with Hex, is that because he was already pretty well off, he's not like dependent on those funds to like pay his devs. And this is the funniest thing, is like people are like, oh my God, Richard Hart has so much Hex, like, and then he turns around and launches Pulse Chain and like, or launch the sacrifice, and people give him even more Hex. So it's like that just killed the the narrative of like Richard Hart having too much, and people are more than willing to give him more, So,
is that
or
why
the
he was able to
sacrifice.
buy all the Gucci? Is because of Pulse Chain and PulseX? He finally hit the bar for being able to wildly spend money on luxury goods.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, no, that was a wild move to be doing in the middle of just a bear market, just like continue to flex. But I'm definitely happy with Richard Hart's kind of pivot and marketing and what he's doing now. So I think it's net positive.